Alright, well, I found it. We're doing this. We're doing it until we're not. It's Brigid. Clachan? Clachan's Heart? 3-mana 3/2. When it enters or flips into the white side, you get a 1/1 green-white Kithkin. And you can pay green to flip it into effectively Gaia's Cradle. So I want to play a bunch of creatures and generate a bunch of mana. It is vulnerable to sweepers, but that's not anything new. And apart from a bunch of creatures, you have ways to draw every time you play them. So like Guardian Project and whatnot. There's combos in here. There's like Scurry Oak and what is it, Rosie? And then there's also Basking Brood Scale and Rosie. And I think there's another one somewhere. Maybe. There's definitely mana combos with like Staff of Domination and what is it? That's like the Rofellos one. And then there's Gauntlet of Light, which if you have it tapping for at least 4, it goes infinite. Now, what I'm doing with all that mana isn't the craziest stuff, but if I have ways to draw from every creature played, I can eventually find something like Craterhoof. But as far as I'm aware, Rosie and something like this making infinite tokens doesn't necessarily win you the game. It just lets you sit there for a while and make a bunch of tokens that might matter at some point. Maybe your opponent gives up. But with this one, they help you cast X spells for other things. So if I loop those and then have Nature's Rhythm for Craterhoof, that wins. Eladarmi's Call is just a demonic tutor, basically, in this deck. So that's nice. But it's definitely not a play 55 lands really fast like your typical green deck. But I think Scute Swarm is still just making a 1/1 is just good for what my commander's doing. But I don't expect to like go crazy with something like Scute Swarm at 6 lands or Mossborn on turn 2 onwards. Although Mossborn can very easily win without playing more than 1 land a turn. But it's not in here. So yeah, try to flip this, get the Gaia's Cradle, and win with a bajillion zillion mana. Oh, there's the Paradox Engine 1 ring combo, because mana, yes. Mana. Mana, 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 mana. Mana, 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 mana. What is this? Oh, okay. Well, it's red-white. That's what I care most about. I have a 1 into 3. Because of course I do. Oh no, they're going to swords it. Oh no. Or it looks like they have swords. Alright, well, we know of swords and or Path of Exile. It's not Solitude. It wasn't Mana Tithe. So, guess I'm not playing my commander, which makes my life way easier. I could just do literally anything else. If I had Flare turn... Do I just play Flare on this? How do I not do that? I don't care about the mana it gets from here. Let's just do this. Alright, well, this is the first game. I said I'm not trying to play a bunch of lands really fast, but I drew all the land ramp. Opponent didn't do anything in the first 2 turns. Did the manifest off the top? I think anything that cares about tokens would probably feel the same way about it, right? You can manifest... Opponent doing nothing that long is absolutely insane. That's just ridiculous to me. Can I adapt in response? Oh, I can. Huh, that's funny. I don't think I've ever done that. If I could do it again... Oh, no, it wouldn't work. Yeah. Okay, well. My opponent's just leaving out this red-white control situation. I don't know if I like it, but I can just play my commander if they decide to do that once more. Okay. They got the fancy... Alright, well, there's defense. So I can just ask that question. Ask the question. They can swords their own creature. They didn't even hesitate. Okay, they were waiting to do that since turn 2. Alright. So I have the thing. I can just block that. Yeah, famous enough for slander. It's when you know you made it. You got haters. Let's grab Rosie and that. Just do the thing. I don't know if they could beat the massive wall of nonsense this creates. And I'll probably stop at like 50. Because I don't want to sit here all day. Could probably stop even lower than that, but 50 is fine. It's up to my opponent to deal with this. So. If I ever get my commander in play and they don't have a board wipe, the fact that my opponent didn't do anything for like 3 turns is makes me think there's a sweeper. And if there is, I do kind of get blown out. Especially if I cast my commander, which I think I'm going to... Well, actually, you know what? My commander doesn't do anything. So maybe I just don't play it, right? I'm putting lethal into play right now. Maybe there's no reason to actually play more creatures and stuff. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do. Well, like I said, we go to 50. Because I think 50 is reliable enough to get past anything my opponent could possibly have in this format, while also not taking 10 years when my opponent just has a board wipe anyways. Is it settle the wreckage? What is happening? Okay. Okay. Sure. Does my opponent have more after this? Because otherwise this isn't a long-term solution. Did the game freeze? What happened? Oh. It's slowly poking them with 51 ones. Well, that's not ideal. Pretty sure there's a shortcut after a certain amount swing. Yeah, like that. Okay. I don't think you're actually stuck there for 10,000 years. They can take out the 2/2. Alright, there's no card for 1 mana in the whole of Magic the Gathering that saves them, except like Holy Day, but I don't think that's in the game. Definitely not in their deck. Okay. Yeah. I don't really know. Unless there's something to draw into, there's not much of an incentive to sit there and wait it out. But apparently my opponent had something. Oust is kind of nuts. This seemed like a red-white control deck more than whatever this was trying to do. Well, Broodscale really likes me. Can confirm. Oh, well, that was easy. So, wait, how does this work? Well, that just happened. So I have infinite colorless, but I don't have a win at a hand or anything. And these aren't creatures that can attack. But unless they have a sweeper. These are not attacking creatures, so I can just stop at like 25 when the 2/2 is now lethal in one attack. I don't have to go to 50. I just straight up drew it. I'll go up to 30, just in case they gain life, which I don't think Prosper even does. But 30 is fine. Put the counter there. Okay. They didn't concede, so... I mean, they don't have to concede. All they need is a removal spell. So they actually have no reason to concede. But look, this is where if I drew Elspeth, I would just straight up win. So I'm going to spend these because that's like the most efficient use of them. I'm just going to spend them as I get them. My opponent found Demonic Ruckus. Okay. But we should absolutely spend these. I don't need more, or like I don't need 1 trillion of them. So. I guess I can make a few more. Made it this far, right? And then play... I don't have another green source. So I guess I play this. Kind of unfortunate. I have to swing with this. And they have to block it so I can swing with the other 3. I will swing with it. It gets my opponent's commander out of play, and I don't need it any longer. And there's not a lot of things that I could possibly make it hit my opponent successfully and matter. Because, like, Elspeth would just win, Craterhoof would just win. Alright, well, they blew him up. They blew him up anyways. Work with green? No, you have to tap the creatures to make the green mana. You have to tap them. This is the farthest thing from cheesy in this format. I don't know if you normally play this, but that doesn't make any sense to say. Pretty sure Rofellos on turn 2 is 10 times cheesier than whatever you think I just did. It's kind of a wild statement. That's always colorless. I'm lacking green. Okay, so... Yeah, I'm lacking green. Well, I'm not going to draw a land just because it's green. Oh, drew one anyways. Well, my opponent might win this game, so yeah, I would. Okay. Well, that doesn't find combo anymore. Still gonna play it. But it does not find a combo. If I had a Scurry Oak instead of Brood Scale, things would be different. My opponent is completely ignoring my board, so... don't think the scry matters. I could play Scute Swarm, but it's only one land a turn. It does trigger, if I only draw lands, it triggers the Enduring Innocence every turn to just draw more cards. Might be my best bet. Okay, I drew Flare. That was a good draw. That was a good draw, I think. I'm asking once more for my opponent to deal with my board, so... I don't have anything to do with that as it stands. Is it infinite with Rofellos? It might be infinite with Rofellos. So I suppose I could play it. It's not like I have anything else to do. So I'll just play it. And then pass and threaten the Rofellos. Outrageous robbery me for 15. Play those cards as long as they're face down. Okay, I'm trying to think. Alright, I'll just let it happen. There's like no board wipes, right? It's a bunch of funny tokens and stuff, but there is the One Ring, I guess. Okay, that blows up the defense, so I lose defense to the heart. Or ideally, I lose defense, yeah. Played that in a weird order. Probably doesn't matter. Probably doesn't matter. I don't even have lethal without Crater Hoof, so... Yeah, there's Finale of Devastation. I think all the finales are in the game? Pretty sure they are. They can kill me here. It's possible. They have, like, I think infinite mana, so... Or it looks close to infinite mana, I guess. It has been a pretty crazy game, I'm not gonna lie. This game has been kind of nuts. I'm not sure why my opponent's playing this. Oh, because of artifacts. I see. Because it triggers off of treasure tokens, it's not creatures. I see. Because if it was creatures, it doesn't really make a lot of sense to me. Well, so far they've only really played one card that is a bit standout-ish. Well, that's ironic. That's actually the worst possible thing to happen, because I wanted to tutor for this on their end step, so it could tap for mana immediately. So that was literally a 1 in 55. I think I'm still fine. Oh, that's probably not true. We'll see. Well, I didn't die, so that's cool. Yep. Yep. Okay. So... okay, we have Circle of Dreams Druid. Okay. I think I just won. I forgot there was another effective Rofellos in my deck. Okay, so I have infinite mana. Correction, I have infinite green mana. This has been an absolutely insane game. A completely insane game. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Wow. All right. Well, it wasn't looking good for a second, and then it suddenly was. I had an infinite colorless combo that made a giant creature which was easily dealt with. So I don't... and then... yeah, I didn't do anything with that. They blew up Defense of the Heart. They stole 15 cards, had basically infinite mana because the Zorn and Prosper played a ton of things. I don't think I get to see what was exiled. I'd have to, like, deduce it by tutoring in my deck and looking. But the draw on Rofellos I thought actually cost me the game, which would have been nuts. I mean, it's already nuts to draw this, but I had another one in there. Almost forgot about it, too. Wow. Bro, I'm having some, like, actually unhinged takes in my chat today. What is going on? Did something happen in Magic that I'm not aware of? This is protection from white? Yeah. Well, that seems a little not great. Well, I wish I... kind of wish I played that. They took that. I don't even think this is the kind of deck that cares about that, but okay. I'd never seen Turok play a bunch of creatures, so that's kind of interesting. I'm going to play my commander, I think. Yeah. Link for 2. It's another spot which seems to happen a lot where having a bunch of mana doesn't actually do anything. So... yep, go figure. Typical. The only card in mono black that does anything there. Amazing. Turok is still a problem, but I mean, I have a 6/5, I guess. The kicker is black. Okay, we're just not kicking it. Wow. Beautiful. There's not really any one card I want to grab with my Eladharmy's Call, like at all, so I think we're just chilling. Overlord does not have trample. So I mean, I can still kill it. Oh, they just plussed it. Okay, so is Craterhoof lethal? No, it's not, is it? What does this actually do? Can't discard it. Okay, Craterhoof. Sweet. Demonic Tutor, Craterhoof. Why is it auto? Wait, what? That was weird. It asked me to manually assign it. I've never manually assigned damage like that in my life, but I don't know, is that new? I've never seen that before. Do I have a thing in the settings different? I have a fetch land for Molt Tender. I'd like another thing for Badger Mole, but can't have everything. And I will just mill one. Milled Rofellos. I don't think I would have wanted to draw that. Alright, yep, look at that. Too much mana. Too much mana too fast. We untap 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? I think it's 5. Yeah, this taps for 2. Even though it doesn't like tap to immediately add. So 5. I can Primal Command my opponent's land, which is extremely devastating here, and then just tutor up Rosie. Return this to his own hand. Okay. So we have the funnies with the fetch land here. And I guess I just do this now? That's a tutor. I already have one though. I already have one. I'm not sweating it. Let's just run this out. Yeah, Turok in that exact instance was a 3/2, so. Which is, I think, kind of rare, because normally it's either a 2/1 or the other one there. Okay, we can play our commander. I can play Scurry Oak first. This is a mono green deck. Let's fetch. It's not like it's going to flash in Solitude. I can just trigger this, like as an honest thing to trigger. Wait a minute. That's not true, because I have to tap the Amber. That's not true at all. I lied. I don't think there's anything a mono green deck is going to do at all to overcome my... Oh, I had a land drop. Ooh! Alright, don't listen to me. I missed an evolve trigger. It does not matter, but I did miss it. I tried to go out on my way to hit it, and I oh, what am I doing? I got caught up about other things. Alright. Do I have enough creatures to just do this? 1, 2... No, I don't. Alright. Okay, what does this actually do when you do the thing? Does a land? Okay. That's pretty neat. Like this. Okay, I guess they're done. That was interesting. I have a combo next turn. Even if they do the most insane thing this turn, I don't know what they could possibly do, even if they had like 6 lands. I don't know what Worldly Tutor was doing. I just don't know what I would do with that there. There's probably something. I just didn't get to look. I'm not going to think about it. But, rather have it than the 2 treasures, probably. I normally don't like Offer You Can't Refuse. Normally not a fan of that one. I have the fetch land thing with Badger Mole. Is that better than just having a land that taps for 2, though? Yeah, I mean, it's roughly the same, isn't it? So you... Wait, this... Do it the smart way. Or I don't do it. Oh yeah, so I mean, it's just blue-black Reanimator. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Boom. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I can hold off on my commander and just play these 2. Because without anything to do, I don't really need this, right? It's more of a explosive mana turn, but I don't have anything in my hand to do with it. Can't cast more than one. Each player cannot cast more than 1 spell each turn. Okay. So we can play this 2 turns in a row, getting 2 pieces of the combo. That might just be the best idea. And then I just ask my opponent to have a sweeper. Right? Does that make sense? Does that make sense? We could just get Lorwyn. Wait a minute. Let's think about this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 4. 3? Yeah. Lauren, what's it called? Loran. Boop. And then just play more cards. Like that. There we go. I think that's worth dealing with. I'm going to say it's worth dealing with. How many basic lands does High Buy actually play? Oh, they got the cool dual lands. Jock lands, whatever. Did they get 2? They got 2 basics with land tax there. They did not get 3. And they didn't get a blue or black one. Interesting. And they don't even play a basic. Alright. Love to see it. Was it Toxic Deluge? What else makes sense? Wasn't Toxic Deluge. Alright. Well, there's land tax looking like why I don't like it. A land is fine, but not necessary. Okay, we start here. Then I can't play this. It's double white. I'm still starting. I'm just doing this. Tap you. Okay. Found another white source anyways. Okay. Throw on a bajillion. Love to see it. And then I can swing with you because I don't care about you. And I highly doubt they're trading. They probably would trade with Badger Mole Cub, though. I'm not going to tap to draw. I see no reason to. Is this only as a sorcery? No, it's not. I guess I could do it on the end step there if they're tapped out or something. Oh, okay, they got 1 basic this time. 1 whole basic. Let's see if they play it. This is the strangest land tax deck I've ever seen. I have no idea what this does. I have no idea what this does. Shrine Sanctum Sanctum of Spaghetti, whatever. Sphere of Safety? Oh, that is so toxic. They're going to discard, so I absolutely should do this. Sphere of Safety? You sick individual. This is okay, but it isn't currently doing anything. Is it worth a card draw? It probably is worth simply putting to my hand. But also they discard land. Okay, we flip this. We have a bajillion zillion mana. I no longer have a combo, but I would not nearly be as far along as I would be had I tried to go for a combo. So we do that. Ring. Tap it. Oh, well. Sorry, opponent. I just always have it. I just always have it. Probably don't actually have to continuously tap that. Okay, we can just find Crater Hoof. Okay, well, sometimes you just you just draw them. You know, you just draw the cards you need to win the game. Look at that. Look at that. Beautiful. Just how we drew it up. Right off the top. I probably have 2 shots. I don't need... It's not like I'm missing land drops, right? You know what? You know what? I'm just going to keep it. If we don't find it, we just play the next game. That's just fine, right? It's no big deal. No biggie. They named Druid with that Cavernous Souls, so could just be colorless for the rest of the universe here. Okay, let's play... we should actually just play this, yeah. Unfortunately, I didn't draw land. That's, like, really feels bad. Alright, I didn't draw land. Let's do this. Can't have everything. There's no reason to kill my opponent's commander, so... Spelunking, sure. Can't do anything about that. I'd probably reprieve that if I could. Oh, look, a land just in time. So, do that. Play this. It's other creatures, right? So, play this. Okay. Pretty honest, but it's what I've got. They tapped their Mystic for that. How'd they do that? Oh, of course. Silly me. So this is mana neutral. And this is mana neutral. And then green. And I suppose I'm just going to cast Solitude and wipe out my opponent's mana. The rest of it's just chilling, so... That costs 2 to cast, right? Okay. Decline. Are they dead in the air? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28. Nope. Not. So, I'll do this instead. I will kill their commander because they can't recast it and they can't continue to do more crazy things, but unfortunately I don't have a way to stay alive. Oh, I'm going to swing with this anyways, and they probably have to block it. Or they don't have to block it, but we just didn't have lethal that turn, which is the turn I really wish I had lethal, but such is the way of things. Oh, they had the green shrine. Oh, I couldn't stop their commander anyways. Oh, I forgot. Alright, could just be dead. Totally forgot. Okay, they didn't swing at me, so I have an out that I probably shouldn't have access to. We shall see. I cannot believe I just won this game. I can't believe that. I think my opponent just, like, gave me an out I shouldn't have. I can't believe that. Too easy. Oh, wait a minute. They have counters. Oh, no. We have to... Now there's an obscene amount of math that has to be done. Oh, they didn't block. Okay, I was about to say. Wait a minute. Let me look. Okay, all of my creatures are larger than my opponents, so they don't have enough to stay alive. Like, well, let's do the math. That was... Man, this deck is... We have some absolutely insane games. I feel like I should be dead, but I could have maybe stayed alive. Like, there's 14, let's say 3/3s, and I have a fair amount of blockers that could just block and probably still present lethal. But let's do the math. I'm gonna pull out the calculator. So yeah, after looking on the calculator, there's not enough toughness to stay alive. It's actually not even close. Alright, this is definitely a use your gemstone caverns game. And I'll put it on the... Probably this thing? I don't think I'm ever going to play it and have it be super impactful, so... I could just die on my opponent's next turn, because Tifa's just stupid, and I don't have an answer to it. Well, that would have been nice, but alas. I'm like the farthest thing from interested in playing Leaving Up Reprieve. I don't care. Doesn't seem like I'm winning doing that. Tifa can get over 2,000, so hitting the token limit with Scurry Oak is just not really worthwhile clicking 250 times, because you only have 250 tokens. Does this make an elf? No. It doesn't even make an elf. Okay, it might not be dead here. Okay, another Tifa player that plays fight effects. I never really got this, but there it is. I don't think this makes sense. It's like real fellows playing fight effects. I just don't see them worth it. But it killed a creature. Yeah, but it could have just won the game. Alright, let's play you. Right? No, maybe I just play this. Yeah. I don't see why I need to play this really fast. Oh, sweet. I get to reprieve a Haro. Look at that. World first. The bite has trample? Alright, never mind. I value it. It has meaning. Never mind. This finds a 1-drop. Let's just get lands. Yeah, I guess I'll make an exception for that one. Like I said, if you can just ignore combat with your win, you probably should. They're keeping the Cavern, and I don't know why. It's probably free to keep it, but I'm obviously a deck that doesn't have counter spells, and you're probably not going to play a human for the rest of the game anyways. I will absolutely do this. I cannot believe that just worked. Okay. Wow. Yep. That just gives me more Takashi's welcome fodder there. Because I really had nothing else to do. Okay. Just swing for 2. Big chill in here. Mossborn. Well, you haven't had any lands. I think I can just Skyclave that. There's no reason to swords it. Okay, sure. Let's do the flippies. Interesting game so far. It has Ward 1, wasn't it? Ward 1? Yeah. Green Sun Spaghetti. Alright, so I can get a combo piece. Or maybe I just grab Rosie? Rosie's the unassuming piece. Oh, excuse me, it has to be the green side. Yeah. Scurry Oak is pretty obvious, unfortunately. Is there any reason to not do this now? I probably should leave up swords. I don't even need Scurry. I could have just grabbed whatever. I have Craterhoof in my hand. Yeah, I don't actually need that. Alright. Yeah, I could have just Craterhoof next turn. No, I could not have Craterhoof the last turn. That was not lethal. Was it? Huh. Alright, I don't know what I did. Yeah, I guess I missed lethal. I didn't count my mana. Raphalos is fine if it's in Hellcube. I got no problem with it there. Just 99% of us peasants should not be playing against it. It really makes no sense. I don't understand it. I don't know why they think like Chromox needs to be banned. But then they turn around and like, no, this one's fine. Well, my opponent probably doesn't have Mana Dorks, so it only makes sense that they have the best possible card in their entire deck. No, that's not true. They have Exploration and Burgeoning. So, third best. I'd say third best. Okay, let's do that. Let's do this. This, that. That. How much mana do I have? Opponent's reading stuff. Interesting. Let's swing. I got nothing else to do. And I think I win next turn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yep. I gotta get the emote ready. Decline. It's 8, 9, and then is this exactly lethal? Who's the faster tooth and nail? Oh, beautiful. And then I just have to hear people complain that I'm playing a Johnny. Because if you play something remotely sweaty, they get upset for some reason. It's the Grand Goat Napper. Beautiful. Haven't seen this since I played it. Absolutely beautiful. Let's get Temple Garden. Get in there for 0, because that's what you should do. Brigid's better in the 99? Then what should the commander be? I don't know what to do with that logic. Sure. I don't lose if it dies. So we're just chilling. When they first are doing it for free. With Tajik Legion's Valor added to the ban list. Huh? The alchemy one that makes counters? What? What on earth? I really don't want to do anything about this because I want it to do something and I feel really bad. But, like, I also want to win the game. So. Yeah. I was about to say. Yeah, they're probably over it. Once you deal with Goat Napper, it's kind of lights out, so. I just got kind of robbed there. Got a bit robbed. Ooh, I'd love to play Strip Mine again. Maybe not in like the sweaty one, but... Do I? Oh, of course I do. Yeah. So search, tuck. If they shuffle first, they draw a forest. Oh. You play Overlord? I think stopping Utopia Sprawl is like amazing. So I'm going to do that. And taking out an entire land. So I can grab a lot of different choices. I could grab Lauren to blow up the... Yeah, we can just grab Skyclave as just an out to something my opponent may or may not do. And it can just hit the Guardian Idol. I'm just attacking the mana. So, in a way that never feels good for the opponent to deal with. Like, if you have to counter this, it was obviously the right take. Okay, they didn't counter it. Let's play... our commander? Yeah, why not? I have enough mana to cast it again and again and again and again. Why not? It leaves behind a 1/1. Okay, so it's just gone forever. Sure. Not as ideal, but still fine. I think mono green is a good way to play Muldrotha, if I had to guess. Play you. Oh, okay. Interesting. So, can Sylvan Tutor for one piece of a combo? That doesn't feel too amazing, though. That feels good, but I don't have time to cast it anymore. Right? I can't cast it this turn, and then they can just blow it up later. I think I will still Sylvan Tutor, and I'll just put Craterhoof on top, and what are they going to do about it, is my next question. So let's see what they do about it. I mean, it's lethal. They cannot cast Muldrotha. They have to do something else, and it has to be these two cards. Muldrotha doesn't cut it. They did not fetch first, so... Well, that probably doesn't really matter, honestly. Like, it can't be Muldrotha. There's no 0 in there, right? No. That does stay in play. I don't know if it's enough. Is that enough? Is that enough? They have an answer to the defense of the heart? What's the answer to defense? Does this sack anything? No? So if I cast it, it is 20? No, it's +4 in each. So 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. Nope, not lethal. So over here. That was a neutral draw. I like that. A bit less exciting that time around. Alright, so lethal in play and lethal in hand. Muldrotha is still not castable because it can't be cast and also do something else. So it's down to this last card as far as I'm aware, because 6 mana. Phantasmal Image on Deceit doesn't do it, even with double blue cast. Or double black doesn't do it. But I think that's the only thing, right? Like black, black. Oh, is there something else? Okay, that doesn't do it. Now there's 100% nothing. Right? Yeah, they didn't see that line, apparently. Phantasmal Image. Oh, wait. Yeah, no. Phantasmal Image into Deceit as black, black making me discard this. Pretty sure Phantasmal Image doesn't care how it's played. Like it just looks at the mana spent on it. Okay, I keep wanting to say that we draw the same cards over and over, but this deck is just kind of consistent. So maybe that's just a green-white thing. This deck is very consistent. It feels consistent. In a singleton format that's not simply Ragavan. I want that on white. Also, what is this? The Angel? Yeah. Le Angel. I like this commander. It can be pretty scary. I like this one. Oh, they have Solitude? What is that? What's going on over there? Do I play my commander? Sure. Yeah, it looks like Solitude, so why not? Why not? Do we cast it ahead of time? Oh, we don't. Look at that. It could be Flare of Whiteness. I don't know what it does. The white flare. Okay, it was not Solitude. It just wasn't Solitude. Let us... Turns have begun, so I can't ramp out of control here. I guess I just kill their Yeah, they missed a land drop, so I'm going to kill their commander. And let's see if it actually is Flare. It would be kind of a weird time to Flare, though. Yeah, okay. And I can't stop these tokens, which give them more chances to find a land, but that's probably fine. They found a land. All right. What fancy 3-drop is in our future here? Nothing? Just nothing. Okay. Yeah, that's... Yep. You can do that all day. Doing it twice. Wow. Nothing else to do, huh? They did it after they played a land. Not sure if that's ever right. This is a 3-drop? Okay. So let's try to threaten... What do we try to threaten here? I don't actually know. I guess Skyclave to take out the card in play. It's also another creature for my commander's count, although it could still just die before I get to cast this. I survive that outcome, though. Survive that scenario. Alright, let's see. If it's Flare, you can't cast it. And I'll find out immediately if it's Flare after this resolves. It is Flare. They have the white Flare 100% because they remove priority once they lost a creature. The One Ring. Yeah, I'm not fighting over the One Ring. I don't have lethal. So, flip this. And then next turn, I have infinite mana here? No, let's just flip it. And then pass, I guess. Let's find a white source immediately. And then just pass. Yeah. I don't really want to exhaust the reprieve on the One Ring when I don't have lethal and they could just recast it next turn. And I just don't have anything to do with infinite mana. Okay, my opponent has Day of Judgment. They have a sweeper in their mono-white creature Angels deck. That makes sense. Let's flip. Let's cast the One Ring. Oh, shoot. I tapped at the wrong color. Okay. If I play this, I cannot spend mana to untap, so it does nothing. Alright. Well. Mono white angel deck, casting Day of Judgment. Makes sense, I guess. They probably wanted to wait till their end step to tap it again. They'd already played a land, so... Okay, I can draw first to see what I find. Tracks. I can just play this and make it so they can't really cast creatures. Okay, they completely ignored Defense of the Heart. I am not sure I agree with that, but to each their own. Completely ignored it. Wow. Do I just do the thing then? I mean, that's what I came here to do, right? The only way to stop me is, another board wipe. I'll go to, I guess I'll go to 50, maybe 40. They're at 15. Maybe a little bit higher. I don't expect them to block enough to stay alive. But they, if the Scurry Oak dies, which probably will, they just want a hefty amount of 1/1s here. Oh, okay. Well, apparently I just did it enough to where they were done. I was going to stop at probably 45 or 50. Or rather, I will not mulligan, I should say. I'm obviously going to try. Boop. Enduring River. No, I don't think so. Which one of these is better? They're both pretty similar, so I guess I'll just play this one. Because it discounts things. Can it, if it hits this, I guess it doesn't really discount anything if that's what happens there. So grab you. Play you. Do stuff. So I need this to tap for one more to, like, do the thing. Nothing else. Wow. I will flip it. Askies. So, 4? This is infinite mana, if it works. Which, it looks like it will. Looks like it will, right? I don't see how they come out of this. This doesn't do it. This does not do it. Does it? Wait a minute. Does this do it? Hold on, I think it actually does do it. Because I go to untap it, and it's stunned, so it doesn't untap. Oh, it does do it. Alright, well played. Stun counter works. Alright, so they have to deal with my commander. There was really nothing I could do about that except hope my opponent was tapped out for a turn cycle or something. I'm still in a seriously good position, even if they do deal with it. So, see what they do. But I still have this. Okay. It took them a while to play this, so I don't really know what that means. Well, I doubt there's any kind of unsummon. Okay, well. Guess I don't need more green, so I can just click faster. It is lethal now? Yeah. Alright, I can stop here. So I guess I'll play around specifically that one random counterspell. Okay, so we do this for 24, 25. Random amount of lethal. Do it on this thing, because it doesn't matter. And if they deal with it, it gets brought back. Alright, we did it. Yep, my opponent should make me show them, which they did. But, nice. Okay, so this was exceedingly successful. You could say that's because I didn't see Rofellos all day like I normally do, because Rofellos feels kind of unwinnable unless you decide to run 1,000 Heliod's punishment effects or whatever, reprobation. But even if you do that against Rofellos, then you're suddenly just playing a normal game. You have to like answer this must answer thing, and then the game goes back to a normal back and forth. So it's absolutely ridiculous to me, but feels like an auto loss. Apart from Rofellos, again, this deck felt really good. It's funny. It's actually just sort of Rofellos, but worse, because you need creatures to tap for the mana, as opposed to simply playing lands that tap for mana, and lands are exceedingly difficult to interact with, especially basic lands. So Rofellos just has to have lands. This has to have creatures. Rofellos can survive a board wipe. Not us so much. I think I did beat a couple board wipes, right? There was that one creature deck that cast like 10 and lost because it blew up its own creatures for some reason. But apart from that, sweepers do feel pretty rough, where, yeah, I can't necessarily recommend this because, again, Rofellos is just this, but 10 times better, if not 20 times better. It does effectively the same thing. You don't have access to white, so like a huge one is Eladamri's Call, and I suppose if you care about stuff like rosy combos, you wouldn't have that in white. You lack a bit of the card draw that white brings with playing a bunch of creatures, but green, mono green at least, it's not really concerned about that, right? It doesn't really have a problem with drawing a bunch of cards. Even though a fair amount of it probably wants a giant creature in play, like Return of the Wild Speaker and the Ent, March of the Ents. Like whatever Pock was doing to draw. The 4 cards that make Pock viable, because you play them and then you draw 22 or whatever. But yeah, you're not going to play those, obviously, in this deck. But you have the go wide and draw a card each time you play a creature thing. It might have enough. I don't think so. I think you want 40 to 40, somewhere between 40 and 45 creatures for Collected Company. And there's a new Collected Company too in the Ninja Turtle set. I can't remember the name of it, but I think there's one in the new set. But this is more into a combo thing anyways, in my opinion. So those Collected Company slots, quote unquote, are just sort of found in tutoring the Silver Bullet to win the game, like the Rosy Scurry Oak type deal. I added this later, but with infinite mana generated with my commander, or even just, let's say, Paradox Engine, in untapping this and just casting spells. So I have a ton of mana, or Gauntlets, untapping my commander, as long as I'm generating at least 4 of infinite mana there. And then with something like this, just go right over the top of your opponent, and there's not much they can do about it, except stare at you while you click 1,000 times. I will say, of all of the giant X spells, this is the one I settled on. There was Gold Vein. Someone recommended Gold Vein, which has haste, and then you can swing with it. But with this one, you can get in there, and if they kill the creature that you targeted, you're still left with a giant threat. So it's like 2 layers of a giant threat with this one. So I think this one's a little bit better. And that's really only the case because you have a creature that is generating infinite mana. So you obviously have the thing to enchant every time you generate infinite mana. If you could generate infinite mana without a creature, then you might not want this as your thing to do with it, but you can. So Maybe there's a scenario where the haste one is better. There probably are scenarios where it's better, but I can't really see that because, again, they both swing with pseudo haste. It are enchanting something that was already in play, or swinging with a new threat. But most importantly, it's a creature, so you can tutor for it with Aladarmri's Call and Archdruid's Charm, and maybe not Defense of the Heart, Prismari Command, and all that jazz. So it's probably just solid. I also think it sees playing Pauper. I don't know what deck though. Probably Elves. The card draw was good. Mentor never did anything. It can be hard to get this going, but when it does get going, it is a problem, right? I shouldn't say it's hard. It's not too difficult. The more creatures you put in your deck, the easier it gets. You just don't really want to untap with this, have 25 mana, or even honestly like 8 mana, because you have so many creatures, but then just nothing to do with it. The 2 or 3 times I've played against it, that seems to be the wall my opponents hit, where they flip it, and they have a bunch of stuff in play, but then they don't have anything to cast. And if they do, it isn't massive. It's just more things that let this itself tap for more, as opposed to a giant win with all the mana that you've now generated. So with that logic, I guess you would defer to Rofellos and how many giant things it does play relative to how many enabling things it plays to just put lands in play. But see, that makes Rofellos in a weird position compared to this, because it doesn't really need to play ramp spells, right? You're simply just playing 2 lands a turn with Rofellos in a vacuum. You just play Rofellos and then a forest every turn, and they all effectively tap for 2 because Rofellos cares about how many forests. That probably outpaces most things, right? It outpaces a lot to have that. So kind of a weird comparison there, but I don't know. I'm not playing Moss-born Hydra, and I don't really think Rofellos is either, but with Scute Swarm, you don't really need 6 lands. You can just sort of generate every single token is just another thing that taps here. And I just don't know how many giant win cards you really want. I did get a lot of honest Craterhoof wins, which is kind of cool. You don't see that too often, where like your opponent just playing things and then they just suddenly have it in their hand and it's just lethal when they cast it. It's not too difficult to have Craterhoof be lethal, mind you, but it is kind of cool to just cast it as just out of hand, full honest, and just send it like you didn't Tooth and Nail, you didn't Defense of the Heart, you just cast it and win. I think that's kind of neat. What else? The protection spells, or protection creatures, because you do want creatures. If you can find something that is on a spell, but it's also on a creature, probably just go the creature route, because this cares about the creatures. So I think that's, that makes sense, right? So with that being said, Mother of Runes and Giver of Runes and Skrelv, they're okay here, but it never really felt like if this died, I was totally screwed, which is really nice, right? That's like a huge selling point of any commander, especially if it isn't one of the top 15 that every other opponent plays. Excuse me. So that is nice. You can cast it over and over. There were some times it was right to flip just to make more tokens, and I had nothing to do with a bunch of mana. So it's just like, I'll just pay 1 white to flip it back. And then the next turn, if I have something to do with it, it's nice there. But that didn't happen too much. And I probably could have done that 1 or 2 more times than I actually did, which is generate more tokens as opposed to just passing back and having not flipped this. So just taking an extra second to look at your hand and be like, all right, I'll flip it because I don't need the mana and I'll just deal with it later. And when you flip it, it's way less scary. You flip it and your opponent looks at it like, okay, I don't care anymore because it's on that side. Maybe most people don't actually do that, but some people do. You've displayed nothing to do with it, so it becomes less scary for your opponent. And then if it goes back to your next turn and then you pay 1 green to flip it again and suddenly you win, they would probably assume you just top decked to win because you didn't do it last turn. Even though maybe the only reason you won is because you actually needed more creatures in play first. So like you flip it because you're making it unassuming, but you're making a 1/1 and then maybe casting a creature at your hand, and then next turn you'll have enough creatures to win. And you actually didn't have any new cards, but your opponent just wasn't thinking like that because of the combo. So there's like a sub game, some 4D chess going on with that, maybe. It's still nice to always have it on turn 2, I think. It's a little crazy to not play every 1 mana ramp spell in a 3 mana commander deck there. So even though, again, you don't really need to blitz it out on turn 2 all the time, I was not playing Burgeoning or Exploration. I think with Kami and Grazer, they kind of get in each other's ways a lot. I mean, it's still talking about just like 4 cards in your deck. It's not like that many, but you know, if you have one of these and then Burgeoning or Exploration, these get way worse. This one is okay if you can just flip it and then just have more mana to put into play with the other 2 enchantments there. But Grazer, and again, this is a Creatures Matters deck. It wants a creature count, so I just chose to go with this. I'm going to be honest, Exploration is still probably 10 times better, but thought I'd just go more all in on my commander for the sake of having the commander matter. So yeah, Staff of Spaghetti, Gauntlets, and I think that was the other, was it? I think that was it, yeah. The same logic with Craterhoof. I do like Elspeth as a creates mana with the plus with your commander. It can kill things, and I like the 0 being a Craterhoof, where you have enough just chilling in play. Your opponent's at, I don't know, 18, and then suddenly they're dead because everything flies out of nowhere. This is the closest you're going to get to like a Craterhoof in white. Well, actually, there is Moonshaker Cavalry, which is literally the white Craterhoof, but this is probably a little bit better because it's A, cheaper, B, does something else, and, you know, you're not really ramping that crazy in a mono white strategy there. I'm not going to play Moonshaker, is my point. You probably could, actually. You probably could play Moonshaker in this deck. Like, it's almost exactly the same as Craterhoof. There's not a lot of things that are going to block your evasive flying things, so the trample and the... Well, pop that card up. Yeah, so like it's probably fine. I'm not going to lie to you. I didn't really think about this card until just now. Talking about Elspeth, but you could probably play this. It's just another Craterhoof. If you're playing it out of... Actually, yeah, no, I like that. Oh, yeah, I just... Look at that. I talked myself into something. I forgot it existed. There it is. At first, I'm like, no, I wouldn't play it because it's triple white, but this actually tapped for white. It does tap for white. It does. It does tap for white. Triple white is not really a big deal. It's another card for Solitude, at the very least. Look at that. Yeah, I like that. I don't know what I like it more than. And now I have to sit here and stare at it to find a card to take out, but that's for future Beasley. All right, so let me know what you thought about it. Like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you guys next time. Thanks for watching.